Hello. So yeah, this was supposed to be live, but short version. Well, two short versions. One, because I don't have a million subscribers, it's very hard to. There goes the light on. It's very hard to. I can't stream from my phone anymore because they changed the rules. And two, apparently it's really complicated doing it from your laptop because I was like, oh, let's just do it from the laptop. There's buttons here. There's a thing here, and I kept getting bounced around between classic, the normal dashboard and the new Studio Beta. So yeah, so I brought you here today because if you saw my tweet, which I'll have to fix once I've done this. We're gonna be talking about Doctor Who. Now, I liked doing it live last season because, well, actually, I got a lot of people sort of joining me and sort of saying hi on my stream, and that was really cool. And I really wanted to do that again. And I was kind of back and forth about if I actually wanted to do anything on this season of the Doctor because, I was sort of halfway through watching it and I was like, not sure. But then we got to a point, and I was just like, oh yeah, I got to talk about this. So we do have a spoiler zone thing, and I will hold it on when it's appropriate. But for now, we shall talk in general terms. First of all, if you haven't seen my previous reactions, there'll be a playlist. I'll probably put a link down there somewhere when I work it out. So yeah, I'm a fan of Doctor Who for a while, really since a kid, but like a big fan since the new series started. I have the picture up there, which I didn't draw, was drawn for me by my sister-in-law. And then the clock, as you can see, is Doctors 1 to 12. And that was a present from my dad a couple of Christmases ago. Yeah, so I have some credentials. Favourite Doctors in order of appearance are 5, 9 and 11. I am enjoying 13. I am enjoying Jodie Whittaker. I think she's really fun. Not clicking with me. 5 because I kind of grew up with him. 9 because he was on the first in the first new one, and it was like, yeah, he's really bringing it. And Chris Eccleston is a fantastic actor anyway. And I just loved 11. Matt Smith. Pretty much since day one, because being a big Peter D fan, I was like, oh, now there's a new younger one. He doesn't have the record anymore. But then, like, literally within his first episode, he completely convinced me. So that's why Matt Smith is up there in my favourites. And like I said, I like Jodie Whittaker. I'm enjoying what she's doing with the part. And it's nice that she's really sort of settling in. But, it hasn't fully clicked yet. Well, she has and she hasn't. She's definitely not at the bottom of the pile. So somewhere in the middle, I guess. 5, 9 and 11 will always be like my top 3. So yeah, sorry if I seem a bit, but I had dinner earlier and I'm just like, well, it's just sitting, it's just kind of there. So this episode, Spyfall. So it starts with the semi-cold opening of all the companions in their normal lives, doing things. Graham's at the doctor. Yaz is with her family, and her dad is trying to get Alexa to play Rubber Soul or something. It's just kind of funny. Or maybe it was a Google. Either way, we tried to get it to play, and she's like, I do not understand. And Ryan is playing basketball, and he almost gets the basket and he just hits the rim. It's so sad, but he's like, hey, you're doing it, you're out here and you're playing with us and that's cool. And he's like, yeah, so you're off again then, huh? Like, yeah. And then for all of them, as they're coming out of the various offices with Yaz and the family, she's talking about going on like a special secondment because she's obviously a police officer, and then you cut to her with her superior officer. And he's saying, you can't actually go off probation unless you're actually here. He says, yeah, I know. And he's like, so are those people with you then? He's like, oh. So there's a bit of a chase scene where they're in the black car. Because originally they're like, well, what do we do? What's the escape plan? So, well, we go along. We find out where they're taking us. And we talk to the person on the other end. Kind of reasonable. And so, yeah, sorry if I'm looking around. The light's quite bright in my face. And I always have trouble sort of, plus when I'm thinking I'm recording this like it would have been live. I just haven't got anyone to talk to. So yeah, they're doing. She's like, yeah, we'll just wait and see. And he's like, well, where are they going to go? He's working for someone else. The sat nav glitches out, kills the driver. Bit of action chasing, which is pretty good. It's on a bridge into London, and Shooty Bean keeps trying to shoot the Doctor and the companions, and it's all exciting stuff. And she's like, I need something shiny, so she's like basically grabs the wing mirror, the one up here, the top mirror. I don't drive. I don't know the words. She grabs the mirror, flashes it, so gets the bounce, blows up the blows up the thingy, and then you hear Uncle Stephen's voice, Stephen Fry, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing to my vehicle? Your vehicle tried to kill us." Like, that's impossible. Well, I'll bring me in and I'll tell you how impossible it is. So he introduced himself as C, who works for MI6. So Graham and Ryan are really excited, and Yaz is like, oh, okay, cool. And they get all the toys out. They bring all the spy toys, which is kind of fun, like them geeking out about the toy stuff. And basically, so previous to the cold opening of the companions, you have a cold opening with all these various people. One in South Africa, one in up in the air. Because a couple of people are basically these spies being killed in. We find out the spies afterwards being killed in random ways. And we find out the one from the aeroplane is having her DNA rewritten. And the one thing all these spies have in common is they're all investigating Daniel Barton, who is a tech genius mogul who runs a company called VOR, VOR, which is basically apparently more powerful than any country because it's a big tech giant. And he's not just computing stuff, he also has like vehicles and like other things going on. Excuse me. So, it's basically, okay, who's going to do what? So, there's, within MI6, there is someone who was called O, who was investigating, the weird and wonderful, the alien and all this stuff. And, C is like, well, we don't concern ourselves with alien, thing. And she's like, well, you should talk to these people. She said, well, Unit does that and Torchwood does that. Well, no, they're not here anymore. So both Unit and Torchwood are effectively no longer a thing. I mean, Unit, I haven't rewatched some of the Unit episodes from the earlier episodes, so I can't say. I thought Unit were still going in some capacity, but maybe they haven't. I haven't rewatched Capaldi's era. And Torchwood is pretty much dissolved at the moment unless someone decides to bring it back at some point. I guess that's kind of in a weird limbo place because it's like same with the Doctor Who, the McGann movie, because it was like owned by Fox and the BBC. I'm not sure if Fox are the co-owners of Torchwood at the moment, but it's owned by two companies, and also it was Russell the Davies's baby, so I'm not sure what's happening with Torchwood. So effectively Torchwood is currently not at the moment. Which also means, I don't know if that means John Barrowman ever will or won't come back on. I mean, I'm sure he's always up for it, but anyway. I know, I'm talking fast. So, she basically, the Doctor's like, oh, I can get hold of C. I can just Skype him or whatever. So she's like, hey, it's me. I'm here with the, kisses, call me, bye. And she's then sent a picture of a fish, which turns out is some kind of picture code thingy. And then C is basically assassinated. And there's a really funny scene where they're all escaping, like not getting shot themselves, obviously, but then Graham and Ryan grab all the spy gear cases, which is kind of cool, and they use them as shielding. And so they're like, oh, and they're all on the tires. So we've got the stuff. They're like, you don't use it. I said, well, we've got the stuff, we've got the toys. So they're all kind of geeky, happy about that. So while the alien being creature thingies, they're kind of, we see them as humanoid with funny shaped heads, so they're kind of humanoid, but their head's kind of out like this. They've got like thingies here and like a dome on top. But they're like basically pure energy, or they present as either invisible, but kind of like the vague shape of them, bright white light, or they take on the impression of whatever they've come through. So when they're coming through MI6, like C's office, they're walking through walls that have got flags on them, so their face becomes flags, and then like the rest of them becomes like the sideboards or bookshelf or whatever else, and that's kind of a neat effect. So you've got these 3D images of, you know, basically like if I walked through this wall, you'd get like, you know, Link on my face or maybe the guitar on top of me or something. So that would be like what you'd see projected onto my person. So that was kind of a neat effect. So yeah, turns out that C is in the outback, and they decide to split up, and so Ryan and Yaz go and undercover and investigate. Barton and Graham and the Doctor go see O in the outback. So they kind of, so you know, got two storylines happening. Ryan and Yaz go undercover as journalists. Obviously, they've got like different equipment that the Doctor gave them. So a recording device that's basically a DNA scanner, like a voice recorder, and Ryan's camera does like some cool scanny stuff. At one point, he manages to get a picture of Barton's ID badge, and basically he gets a perfect scan of it, and then a little printer in his bag prints it out, and like so he's got like a thingy. So they use that to sneak back in at a later point, because he does invite them to his birthday party, which is kind of neat. But after he finishes the interview, they basically sneak back in using his pass, but there's a neat little security thing within the pass that basically says original pass has been activated, hide, basically. So it's like, oh, that's okay, fair enough. So they hide behind the sofa in the office, because, you know, CEO office, big thing. And I forgot to say, Daniel Barton is Selene Henry, which is very cool. I knew that Selene was going to be in it, but I didn't realise that this was the character he's playing, so that was cool. So he's actually... I've said this before, I don't know if I've said this before on here, but I've said this before to people, that I like Stephen Fry. He's, you know, a National Institute, he's a treasure, and I'd hate anything to happen to him. But as an actor, I don't always rate him, because you can't always forget that it's Stephen Fry. So Lenny Henry, on the other hand, amazing actor. He can disappear into a part. So much so, it took me about 5 minutes before I realised, oh crap, it's Lenny. Okay. So yeah, he's really good. He's playing that, you know, you don't know, is he good, is he bad, is he just like a boss? So he's doing the interview, sort of answering the questions somewhat generically, find out he's got a pilot's license. Yeah, so they hide behind the sofa, and then he's into the office, because they've got a doodad that like scans all his computer, gets all the information off. They hide in his office, and it's like, I know you're in here. And like, crap, the gig's up. No, the alien energy being creatures basically merge through his walls, and like, okay, so he's like, I told you to be discreet, and they're like, the plan must go forward. We must protect. So we don't know what the plan is or why the plan is, but clearly these beings, these entities, are doing what they're doing because they feel like Barton being spied on is interfering with whatever the plan is. So that's why they've been killing everyone or changing everyone's DNA. And speaking of, it turns out that his DNA is only 93% human, so 7% of him is not human. So he yeets it out of there. Yaz and Ryan are about to leave, but she wants to go up to the desk to find some more stuff. And then as she does, it kind of triggers the thing, and then one of the alien beings basically absorbs her. And Ryan's like, sorry, Yaz, and yeets his ass out, which you should. You should. And then she's basically sucked into this place. Yeah, the alien said, like, he's like, what have you done to her? And he's like, she's gone. So that's when he just says, oh, I'm sorry, Yaz. So she's now in this weird place with like tendrils and electrical sparkles and all sorts going on. And there's this weird light show that happens in the building, which is kind of neat. Like the light silhouettes of them, you know, are all on the building. So it's kind of a neat effect, which has an effect of what's happening with the Doctor. Before I go to the Doctor and Graham, there is in the office this neat 3D sculpture thing of a figure dancing in a cube. The only reason I'm mentioning it is because our attention was brought to it. I don't know if it's actually significant, but our attention is brought to it. So usually when I don't know if it's Chekhov's art piece or if it's just an art piece, but it was kind of funky. So meanwhile, while this has been happening, in the outback, they find O. He's with a couple of Aussie Secret Service people. They see the TARDIS sort of arrive, and they're like, "Wow, that was amazing!" And like, "Yeah, I know, right?" and O's just really chill about it because the Doctor and O met once before when she was a he. We don't know which version. Or, you know, so and like he says this to Graham afterwards, like, "What?" It's like she never mentioned it. I thought she was joking. So yeah, Graham is like, "Oh, right, so the Doctor really was a man before." Okay. And then O mentions having a shelf full of stuff about the Doctor. But before, so Graham and the Doctor arrive. They have exchange pleasantries. There's a lot of cool chase scenes and stuff because he's like kind of paranoid. He's got all this security stuff around him, all this like alien research, including a complete mint condition set of 14 times. Kind of cool if you're into that stuff. Kind of, his place is kind of scruffy. And I've just realised something that's actually kind of neat. So yeah, he's got all this stuff going around him with his place. Excuse me, Homer. So yeah, basically, a lot of the stuff that goes on at his place is more of the actiony beats where they're fighting off or trying to defend themselves from the alien things. And yeah, they managed to capture one in some kind of tube, and he's like, has like he originally protects himself with like a grid, like a honeycomb grid. After the officers are unfortunately killed. Well, that's the presumption anyway, because about a dozen of the creatures surround them, and then we don't see them again. So they died, doing what they do, trying to protect O, the Doctor, and Graham. And yes, they're saying, "Oh yeah, you need to find those. We need to work out who they work for. Who are you working for?" Yaz, at one point during the light show in LA, sorry, in San Francisco, she and Rama in America. She basically gets sent back through the tubes, so the alien that they captured is swapped out for Yaz. So she's kind of like traumatized by it. But we don't know who did what. We don't know who's controlling who. Is the aliens controlling Barton, or is Barton controlling the aliens? And like O's like, we gotta find the spy master, and he's like, oh yeah, I suppose we need to. And then the Doctor finds all this coding in the computer because it's alien language. And so that's all that's kind of happening. And so that's kind of like the first 45 minutes. And now I'm going to go into the spoiler zone. And so we get to the party, and that's where in the trailer you see the Doctor and everyone all spiffied up in their tuxes. And it's a casino themed party. It's quite good. I think Ryan and Graham are playing roulette, and they win. I don't know how much they won, but hey, yeah, we won, ladies. The Doctor looks like she's playing blackjack, which is at a blackjack table, and she's like, "Give me a card, give me a card, give me a snap." Is that not what we're playing? Really adorable, absolutely adorable. O and Yaz are playing craps, so they roll the dice. People were, woo, so did we win? So never know what I'm doing anyway. So they're all having fun at the party. Barton is shown the security footage of Yaz and Ryan basically hacking his computer. And yeah, so we've kind of got that. So the Doctor confronts Barton, basically saying, "Oh, you're not 100% human. You're this, you're that. I know you're being controlled by these aliens, or are you controlling them?" And he's like, basically, "You're cracked. Don't come near me. If you do, you'll be like, my people will deal with you." So he makes his escape with his car, goes to his private airport, which is established earlier on, gets in the plane. The others then, all make chase and all manage to get into the cargo hose. So basically, the TARDIS cat gang and O have now basically made their way onto the plane. And this is where the really big spoilery thing is, because whilst they're all running, the first our main four get on, and then O's like, "Oh, I was never very good at sprinting. I was never very good at that." And the Doctor's like, "Wait a minute. I've seen your profile. I know about you. You were like a champion sprinter. And he's like, no, I was always last in school. I'm like, O is my name and O is what I decided to own. But you didn't listen to me. You needed to find the spy master. So O is the master? There's a new master? And we haven't... Because obviously we saw Missy die or was shot. Sim Master shot her in the back, but it was kind of the implication that, you know, because it's, again, going back to the McGann movie, that if a Time Lord is shot with energy weapons, that's why he's assassinated by the Daleks, that's supposed to prevent regeneration, and it's all the whole thing, and they're all laughing. I haven't rewatched the Dr. Falls since its first thing, and weirdly, I was planning on rewatching it again anyway, because I've recently discovered that I can actually do that on, I think is it Netflix or Prime? I've got them both. I always get confused what's got what. So that last scene with Missy and Master, I don't know. I can't remember what happened. Like, basically, they one stabbed. I think Missy stabbed the Master, and the Master shot Missy, and they both died laughing. So we never actually found out what happened to Sim Master. Now, either O is... He obviously, let's assume that O is telling the truth and he is the Master, and he goes in this whole maniac thing. His house is outside in a tornado, so presumably that's his TARDIS, perhaps? I don't know. I guess that's the implication. Assuming that he is being honest and he is the Master, and he's like, ha, finally I've got you. Either, so yes, the Doctor would have met O at some point in their lifetime as one of her male forms. But we don't know which one yet. So either O is the next regeneration from Sim Master, the one before Missy, or Missy reverted back to male form. Now I'm kind of hoping that O fits in between Sim and Gomez, Michelle Gomez, because I like the idea for the Doctor that now she's female, that she'll continue to be female. And if they're reverting Missy back to Master, that means they might then do the same with the Doctor. And I'm like, oh, I do that. I want to carry on. So the idea of O being between John Sim and Michelle Gomez is more appealing to me. But you know, it could be either end. It makes sense either way. But like I said, the last time we saw either regeneration of Missy and Master was a Sim and Gomez. So really, and it's like they were both dying. So it could genuinely go either way. So yeah, that's kind of the point where like, okay, now I have to talk about it. And I'm sorry I couldn't do this live. So basically, by the time this uploads, it'll still be late. Yeah, basically that was kind of it. The Barton, because she's like, okay, we've got one Barton. Yeah, this is not good. All the aliens start coming out of places. Like, it's all go crazy. It's all like the thing, and Barton is not in the thing. You see him in the cockpit. You see him doing all his pre-flight. You see him, asking for permission to take off and do all the stuff, which I always credit must be, as close to real dialogue as possible when you see stuff involving ATC, because why wouldn't you? You want that to be a thing, and ATC do a very difficult job. They've got a lot of pressure on them, and you should at least respect that by respecting the dialogue. He isn't there when she goes into the cockpit. I guess the implication is that he's shooting out, or was he an illusion? We don't know. We don't know that yet. There is a bomb on the cockpit, and I was like, cockpit bomb, woo! So yeah, again, going to sort of Master being a little bit zany. We'll come back to that. So basically, yes, it's sonic proof, it's deadlock sealed. So she tells him to go away, leans on the door, it blows up. So you see the plane with the nose blown up, basically. And essentially the last thing you hear O saying to the Doctor is, by the way, never trust anything you see. And it kind of smash cuts to her being in the weird tendril place that Yaz was originally put into. And she's like, no, no, no! So we have no idea what happened to the fam, no idea where O is. Assuming that his house is his TARDIS, I still don't know how he would have gotten to it or how he pulled everything off that he's done. So, yeah, and that's basically the point. I'm like, I got to talk about this. I have got to talk about O being a new... Because this... There was always a thing of there are old, villains coming back. Because the previous season didn't have any classic villains except for Resolution back at the beginning of 2019. Because, oh, by the way, Happy New Year. Sorry, yeah, it's like... Ugh. So, the idea, if... I haven't really been following much Doctor Who new series news. I haven't watched regular television for a while. There's only a few Twitters I follow. Janet Fielding, I follow. George Tennant, I follow, but she wouldn't be privy to information. I don't follow any of the current writers or crew. And, so if there has been any rumours or discussion, because I know obviously the Jadun are coming back and there's rumours of other monsters coming back, Daleks always coming out, Cybermen possibly coming back. At no point did I hear any whispers or anything, or even consider myself, that the Master was coming back. Now, like I said, I had sort of been thinking about rewatching some of the Sin Master episodes, mostly because I'd recently rewatched Life on Mars, and I was like, oh yeah, I really should rewatch his Doctor Who episodes again, because I did enjoy it. Now, the point that I was going to sort of come back to was, I don't know how I feel about the idea of the Master being this bouncy, enthusiastic, kind of crazy thing. Missy did seem to calm it down a lot. Missy was a lot calmer and more calculating, and that's cool. I was fine with that. But the idea of, like, the guys being kind of bouncy and thing, maybe it's because in this initial instance, O feels like that they've got one over on the Doctor, that they're finally besting the Doctor, and that's why he's sort of bouncy, enthusiastic. And maybe, when we get back down, he will calm down again. Sim had moments of mania, like when he first regenerated, he was kind of manic, but then we see him as Saxon, he's a lot calmer, and then, like, when he comes back, he's various states of, crazy, but that's either because his way he was resurrected or other things that were going on with him. It's a whole mess. So I'm hoping that, I'm going to keep calling him O for now, that I will sort of calm down. Like, he's had his victory dance and now he's going to be a little bit more calculating. I do feel bad because the original character, O, was a real person. He was an actual agent for MI6 that apparently on his very first day, the Master caught him with a TCE, like tiny, like really tiny, like in a matchbox, and he like kept him in his pocket and just threw him away. So yeah, the original O is dead, but there was originally that person. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, so yeah, that was basically the because it was the first of 2 parts. Been a while since we've had a 2-parter as an opening. Overall thoughts, yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, up until that point, I wasn't sure if I was going to sort of sit here and talk to you about it. But after I saw that, I was like, yeah, okay, we got stuff to talk about. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to the next episode. I have to wait till Sunday because today's Wednesday, 1st of January 2020. And there was the thing like, oh, Doctor in the midweek, that hasn't happened since the 80s. But apparently it's because it's the first. And then the lady afterwards said, yeah, the next one's could be on Sunday at 7. So like, oh, okay, so we're going back to that schedule. Okay, fair enough. So I won't have long to wait till the second part, so that's all right. And then presumably the rest of the series is going to be Sunday at 7 as well. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Yaz got a little bit more to do. Well, I think they all had about equal parts, but yeah, she got a little bit more to work with. So yeah, hopefully she'll get a little bit more going on, a little bit more development. Because last season she did seem to be a little bit on the outside. Everyone else. Oh, there was one great line where the Doctor, Graham, and O are in the outback in his house, and like basically anytime anyone does anything, like Graham makes a comment, it's like, and I was like, it's just he's just here for running commentary. I thought, yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that line. So yeah, a few funny lines. Great performances from everyone. I do like Stephen Fry. It was the performance he gave for as short as it was good. I just, you know, I think he's a good person, and I have watched a few dramas he's been in. It's just, I don't think he's as good as actors. Maybe he could be, but I still like him. It's, Uncle Stephen, if you're watching this, I still love you. I think you're great. And if you're watching this, hey. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, so Lenny Henry, that was a very good performance. Like getting very sinister towards the end. I enjoyed that, and like I say, Jodie and the rest of the gang were really good. And like I say, was my aversion to the over-enthusiastic, pantomime gleaness aside, it was a good performance. It was, it was played well. And I can't remember anyone's names, so I'm going to say, yes, I enjoyed it. Please feel free to share your thoughts on things. Sorry I can't do it live. I kind of miss doing it live and being able to talk to people. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts, and I will no doubt see you a similar time on Wednesday. Maybe next week on the next episode, Sunday, I'll be able to actually work out how to stream from my computer and do it that way, because I've got people I can ask who can help me with that. So yes, I'm now going into ramble mode, so I'm going to say again, Happy New Year. Hope it's a happy and prosperous one. It is 2020, so hopefully it's all what was the joke I made? Perfect clarity and clear vision. But yes, hope you've had a good one. Wish you well going forward. I've been Michelle, you've been listening, and I will see you next time. Bye!